Well, as we take a look at the wagering inside, now you're going to see Titans at Packers with Green Bay laying the 3, but at Caesars Sportsbook, that 3 is juiced to -125, meaning at some other books it might be 3.5. At some point between now and tonight, it may get to 3.5. But what happens is if you know that it gets to that number and you're on Tennessee, there's going to be some immediate buyback, and so that number predominantly will not last long. 72% of the spread money is on the Packers. I can tell you Tennessee, though, tied for first in ATS record this season at 7-2. All right, we're going to get the guys' selection in terms of the ATS pick, but before we do that, we're going to go through some props. And so, B-Mac, I'll have you start first. First touchdown scorer of the game. Who do you got?
Derrick Henry. Derrick King Henry. I think he will be the first individual to score a touchdown. Granted, I do believe touchdowns will come at a premium. I think it's going to be very, very difficult for either side to get into the end zone via touchdowns. But I think Derrick Henry is the way to go for me. I think they will lean on the running game, understanding and knowing the conditions will be probably ugly throughout this game tonight in regards to wind, snow, not knowing exactly how good the traction will be. You need to rely on a big back like Derrick Henry. So if you get into the red zone, you know they're going to give him opportunities, not to mention if they get anywhere close to the goal line, King Henry is the way to go. I go Derrick Henry.
Well, B-Mac, I'm going to go with the other running back. Aaron Jones got in the end zone last week, went over 130 yards on the ground. Now, I know this Tennessee Titans defense is stingy against the run, but it seems like, Tommy, we've been doing this show on Thursday since, week 2 or 3? I've been beating the table for them to be consistent in the run game because that's been the best offense for the Green Bay Packers. And I thought it was something that Aaron Rodgers on 4th and 1 decided to go off on Matt LaFleur because Matt LaFleur put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands, but he was like, no, run the ball. They can't stop the run right now. Why are we throwing the football? So I look for them to run the ball now. This Tennessee Titans defense is stingy, so I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have to make some plays with his arm, but I like Aaron Jones to get into the end zone.
Okay, and so that is the selections for first touchdown scorer. Now, B-Mac, even though he went with Derrick Henry, does agree with you, Leger, in terms of Aaron Jones. It's just a different kind of prop, right, B-Mac?
No question. Anytime touchdown. I just need a touchdown from Aaron Jones at any point in this ball game. I'm right there with you when you talk about his production, talking about how much he means to their offense. It seems to be he has been the most important player for the Green Bay Packer offense the entire season because he's been called to do so much outside of running the football, a reliable pass catcher. So in regards to just scoring a touchdown any given time in this ball game, Aaron Jones plus 101 is my guy.
Now, if you're looking for value, and I'm talking about major value, Austin Hooper, the tight end. Now, I know from the Tennessee Titans, he hasn't scored yet this week, but if you look at what the Green Bay Packers have done the last 3 weeks, they have given up a score to a tight end. So plus 600, just sprinkle a little money on that. I think Austin Hooper gets into the end zone in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop Derrick Henry. Play action pass, Austin Hooper for a touchdown.
So you went off the board, Leger, because we didn't even see Austin Hooper available in the top 6. We just showed right there.
He went down.
Yeah, and then we just showed a graphic there of what Green Bay does with tight ends going up against them. They found success, their opponents. We're going to spend a little more time on this particular prop because it has moved throughout the day, and it is the Derrick Henry rushing prop, which as of like this morning, you could have gotten sub 100 with 98.5, 99.5. Guys, it has climbed all the way to 105.5 for Derrick Henry to go off today. Leger, I'm going to throw it back to you. Are you going under or are you going over tonight?
This prop scares me, but I'm going to go over because that's the only way the Tennessee Titans can win this game is by running the football with Derrick Henry. I mean, this guy has done that, gone over that 104, 105 mark, I believe 4 out of the last 5 games. I think the last game he played Denver Broncos was the only time he didn't do that. And that's the number 1 defense in football now. If you look at this Green Bay Packers defense, going back to when they played my New York Jets, they couldn't stop a nosebleed in the run game, but they've played significantly better against the run the last few weeks. Now, Tony Pollard had some success last week. I think he went for 115, so they're definitely going to turn around, hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. Cold game. I would not be surprised, even though it's a short week, Derrick Henry gets 30 carries.
I'm afraid of this prop bet, guys, because Tommy, you talked about the line movement. They're begging you to take the under. They're begging all of us to take the under, and this is the thing about betting that drives me crazy because I have a feeling in which direction I should go, but then I'm paying attention to the line. Lee J, I understand where you're coming from in regards to taking the over, but I'm going to take the under, and here's why. Hear me out. I'm not taking the under because I don't think Derrick Henry can be successful against the Green Bay Packers run defense. That has really been their Achilles heel over the last few weeks. You talked about Tony Pollard. If the Cowboys just stayed the course and ran the football, they probably would have won the ball game in regulation. But I'm taking the under because of the conditions. The best way you want to see a dump truck slow down is put that dump truck in unstable conditions in regards to traction. If there is snow, if there is sleet, the grass will be a little damp. He won't be able to be as precise with his cuts and his explosive nature if the ground is a little shaky a little bit in regards to traction. So I think if there's snow, that's what the forecast is telling all of us. It's going to be snow, it's going to be sleet, it's going to be wet, it's going to be windy. Derrick Henry, if you look at his professional career, he's not at his best when the conditions are not ideal. So I think based on the weather, that will give the Green Bay Packers defenders an opportunity to cash in and collapse on Derrick Henry before he gets rolling. So I take the under just based on Mother Nature.
Okay, so here's the deal. You guys are on opposite sides. I'm going to call a bit of an audible and add a bonus prop play on Henry because, and really it's just to get your thoughts on the usage here because he was held in check last week, but before that, 102 yards or more in 5 straight games. His rushing carry prop is 22.5. So do you think he gets 22 carries or more tonight, Luce?
I think he gets 30.
Okay, so you're going to go over there. Okay.
Going over. I think he gets 30 carries tonight.
B-Mac?
I'm right there with Leger. I go over because you have to run the football. You have to run the football. He is the most important player on your team in regards to production, and that's the way to go, especially with these conditions. Yes, if he gets 30, if he gets 35, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, man, so 22.5 is too low for you guys in terms of the rushing attempts for Derrick Henry today. All right, let's get to Aaron Rodgers. His number for the passing prop is 242 and a hook. So, B-Mac, when you look at this, is it too much, not enough, or just right?
It's just right based on what he's done the entire season. When you look at the games where he surpassed this number, he had 43 attempts, got 291. He had 41, got 246. He had 35, 251 in regards to yards, and he had another 35 attempt where he got over 250 as well. But I take the under because I don't believe they're going to put the football in Aaron Rodgers' hands. And it's hard to say that based on how prolific and great he's been. But that has kind of been the mentality of their offense the entire year. And we saw how animated he was when 4th and 1, they threw the football. He wants to run the football because he understands right now their offense, they're at their best when Aaron Jones is very, very impactful. So I take the under because I don't think he will get the volume of opportunities to be able to do what he's done throughout the year, given the opportunities, which has surpassed this number of 242, 243. So I take the under.
Well, B-Mac, respectfully, I'm going to have to go against you. I mean, if you look at this Tennessee Titans defense, I talked about it. Really stingy against the run. They give up less than 90 yards per game, under 4 yards a carry. So you're going to have to throw the ball against them. And quarterbacks have had success doing that. 7 of the last 9 games, every quarterback has thrown over 242 yards. The 2 exceptions, B-Mac, Malik Willis, where they refuse to throw the football, and then Daniel Jones. So those 2 quarterbacks are run-heavy offenses. So I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to have to throw the ball because this Tennessee Titans defense, more specifically their defensive line, they're stingy. We'll see if Jeffrey Simmons can go. Didn't practice all week long, but Tyler Tart, DeMarcus Walker, these guys play really good run defense. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have to go over that number. Will Christian Watson have a game like he did last week when they decide to load the box to stop that rushing attack from Green Bay and he gets one-on-one situations outside with Christian Fulton?
I like it when you guys are on opposite sides. I think we had last time when B-Mac was on the Philly-Houston game. You guys a little too much kumbaya, so good to see you guys are on opposite ends there. There is another situation where you guys are on opposite sides, but it is not on the best player prop, although you guys have taken different ones. Aaron Jones targeted once again there. Leger, what's your best prop play for him tonight?
Yeah, over 25.5 receiving yards. If you look at this Tennessee Titans defense, they've given that up to a running back 4 out of the last 5 games. The one exception, the Houston Texans, and they really don't throw to the running back. So I think Aaron Jones becomes big as a receiver out of the backfield. I talked about the Tennessee Titans defense. They're going to try to stop that run. I think Aaron Rodgers finds him out of the backfield. I like him to go over 25.5 receiving yards.
Well, my best player prop, of course, is an offensive guy as well with the Tennessee Titans. I go Robert Woods under 33 and a hook receiving yards. I'm taking this prop bet because Robert Woods hasn't done anything significant since joining the Tennessee Titans. If you look at his last 3 ball games, guys, get this. 2 receptions for 10 yards. He didn't have 1 reception against Kansas City, 0 yards. Houston, 2 receptions for 26 yards. In totality, the entire season, he's averaging around 29 yards receiving per ball game. But his last 3 ball games, he's been missing. And we all agree that they will run their offense through Derrick Henry. Deserving so, that's the best route to go. But even when they are throwing the football, Robert Woods hasn't really shown up a lot. Not to mention the conditions could be a little difficult to throw the football. So I just got to follow the trend that I've seen with Robert Woods the entire year. For some reason, the connection with him in this offense hasn't surfaced yet. And I have to believe we won't see it surface tonight. So give me the under in regards to Robert Woods receiving yards.
That's also a good play if you guys both think King Henry is going to get somewhere around 30 carries and try to dominate possession, limit those drives, and then cash those tickets for us later tonight. So here's the game. Again, we talked about it. It's a flat 3, although at Caesars Sportsbook it is juiced -125 in favor of Green Bay. Leger, which side are you on tonight?
Yeah, even this number's fluctuated with -2.5, 3. I've even seen on FanDuel 3.5. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers in the money line. It scares me. If you look at Mike Vrabel, 20-7 as the underdog ATS. But Aaron Rodgers, 20-5 on Thursday Night Football. I just believe Aaron Rodgers gets it done. I talked about how stingy this Tennessee Titans defense is against the run. I believe he puts it in the air, gets it going with Christian Watson. Let's not forget his favorite target, Randall Cobb, should be back this week. He has a lot of rapport with him, a lot of trust in him. Now, I am concerned about the offensive line for the Green Bay Packers. Will David Bakhtiari go? Will Elton Jenkins go? Those are my concerns. But I think Aaron Rodgers, just his success on Thursday night. You heard him talk about it, right? Thursday night, they didn't have to travel, so they'll be ahead of schedule more than Tennessee will. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers on the money line.
I'm taking the Tennessee Titans. I'm taking the Titans because, number one, they're getting points. I think it's going to be a low-scoring type affair. So I always side with the team that's getting points, not to mention the team that has been the most consistent. When you look at the Tennessee Titans play, you don't understand and know how they win ball games. But oddly enough, when you look at the scoreboard at the end of the game, they always have more points than the opposing team they're playing against. That's usually the case. In regards to just covering the spread, this team has been phenomenal. They have been phenomenal in regards to bringing money, the bucks, coins, dollars, whatever it is you call it, to your pockets, to your purse, for all the female bettors out there. I got to follow this same trend. I got to take Vrabel has been phenomenal in getting the most out of his teams and doing it with less. Not to mention, Green Bay, I understand you put up Aaron Rodgers' record in below freezing temperatures. Those teams he was a part of had key contributors, consistent contributors. They're still trying to figure things out on the offensive side. That's why they run the football so much. So give me the team that has found a way to win ball games, and they've also found ways to win in regards to the ATS, which is against the spread.
By the way, can we bring back that Mike Vrabel graphic, guys, if we have that at your disposal very quickly? Where did we find this GQ photo of Mike Vrabel, by the way?
Swagged out, ain't he?
We have some guys at CBS Sports HQ that have their headshots from like 8 years ago that don't look anything like Mike Vrabel's headshot there. How can you not cover with a guy like that? All right, gents, appreciate it. Want to remind everybody about our Sports Line live betting hour. Doing this every single night. Tonight it's from 8 to 10 with Eric Casillas. You see the list of guests there. Todd Furman, the Maestro, Larry Hartstein, Jason LaConfora, and Tyler Sullivan, breaking it all down during the game. Also talking futures and other things as well. It'll be a good time right here on CBS Sports HQ, powered by Sportsline.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.